Hey Flosstube, this is Kim, aka Spartan Stitcher on Instagram, and I am back for another monthly cross-stitching update. Today is the 3rd of September, 2023. This is video number 129, and it was a really good month for me considering the last few months of this year. So I worked on 5 different pieces during the month of August. And I've already started working on another piece, so I'll show you that as well, which goes into my plans. So, last I saw you was the beginning of August anyways, and I was already working on old flannel shirt. I'm going to go ahead and show you that towards the end because I've already completed my September portion. So after old flannel shirt, I worked on Half-Blood Prince by Tilton Crafts, going for the row finish up over here. And in 6 days, I did 3,300 tent stitches and got the row finish. So that is the top of the piece. You just can't see the very top edge. So there we go. 2 rows of pages done on Half-Blood Prince. This is the one with 35 colors, stitched on 25 count, 2/1 continental 10 stitch. So we have Professor Snape here, and this is the top of Draco's head. We have Ginny, Professor Slughorn, and Tom Riddle. There is one more page in my goals for this year, but we all know my goals this year have been iffy, so we'll see if I get to that 3rd page. And then after that, I went to Supersize A Confabulation of Dragons by Scott Gustafson. This is the piece that I'm cutting into 3 different pieces to make it a triptych. So here is the entire piece, and the part on the left is the biggest piece. So I drew a line straight down this tree between the dog and this urn, and then there's another line on this horizontal branch. So I'm doing this big piece right here. And I already had, I believe, 2 pages done in this top corner. So I finished the 3rd page, which is into this second dragon's wing. Again, 25 count, easy count, 2/1 continental 10 stitch. And there we go. There is the 3rd page. You got to remember you're going to be looking at it back here. So that looks really good. But there it is, close up. So this one was 12 days, 7,700 tent stitches for that page. And then I thought, what the heck, let's finish the little tiny Mill Hill piece that I started the end of last year when I first hurt my knee and I had to lay down on the couch with my knee elevated, so it was a little tiny Mill Hill piece. So I put 4 days into this and finished this. This is Pumpkin Trio out of the Autumn Harvest collection. You can see the beads on there. Pretty fun. So there is a finish. I just have to cut it out and put some felt on the back and some ribbon so I can hang it up. So my 2nd finish of the year. And then for the last 3 days of the year, or last 3 days of the month, excuse me, I wanted to work on Modern Folk Embroidery's 4 Seasons sale. This was from 2018. I bought it back in November and December 2018 when, I had seen most of the pieces, but I bought them in their monthly installments. And so I've just been printing out each one and trying to work on it on paper, folding it up different ways so I could use magnets and put it onto the fabric. But I know Modern Folk Embroidery patterns are normally Pattern Keeper compatible. So what I did is I emailed Jacob, the designer, and if you still have your login information, even though this was 2018, you can log into the website, pull up your order numbers. And so I sent that to Jacob and I said, I bought these, 2018. Here's my IG. You can go see that I've already been stitching the pattern. Is it possible for you to send me the PDF of the entire piece so that I can upload it into Pattern Keeper and work that way. I said, if not, it's okay. I'm completely willing to buy the pattern again, because I think that's the motivation I need to keep working on it, because it just never seems to get my time. So I already had winter done. I had spring just about halfway done. The last 3 days of August were not much stitching progress. So I only put under 300 stitches on it. But he did send me the pattern. I got it into Pattern Keeper, marked off everything I had complete. And then I had 2 different strands that were parked, so I finished up those strands. And that was pretty much my, my 300 stitches right there. So this is 28 count Monaco that I Rit dyed using DMC Ecru floss. And that's how much I have on spring so far. My goal for 2023 was 15 days, so I've only done 3 so far. We'll see if we reach that goal or not, but at least now it's going to be a whole lot easier to work on, so I'm looking forward to that. And I'll probably leave it on this Q-snap to make it easier for me to just pick it up and work on it. Okay, so that brings me to, well, let me talk about bingo. In full coverage phonetics in August was bingo. The way that the squares were on the board, I didn't get a bingo per se, but I did complete 6 of the squares. So between Old Flannel Shirt, Half-Blood Prince, and Confabulation of Dragons, I completed 6 squares. So 8 or more of something was Confabulation of Dragons, because there's more than 8 dragons. The Dragon Square, obviously. School or Students, Half-Blood Prince. The 8th one in the alphabet just happened to be Old Flannel Shirt. A design that starts with the letter A, well, it's supersize A Confabulation of Dragons. And then something where the predominant color is blue, so I used Old Flannel Shirt for that one. So that was 6 blocks complete out of the 25. Of course, I'm not counting the free space for the 6. So you could say I completed 7 out of the 25 for bingo. So that brings me to September. For the month of August, I was playing catch up in Old Flannel Shirt. Let me show you that pattern, because I did not work on it in July. So I did July and August in August, and then here in September, I only had to finish the 3rd square. Now, if you remember, my squares are in a different order, but that's what Old Flannel Shirt looks like by Carolyn Manning. So I had some good days. It only took me 2 days to do 1,100 stitches for the last 2 colors, or 3 colors in that block. And I believe this is 28 count Cobblestone Lugana. So there we go. We are 3/4 complete. It looks really good in this light. And the last quarter of the year will bring a finish. So that is Old Flannel Shirt. And then, so you guys know that my goal is to finish 1 full coverage a year, is what I'd like to do. This year's Old Flannel Shirt, because I needed a small piece, because none of my big pieces were ready. Well, next year I keep saying I want to finish my oldest full coverage piece, my oldest whip overall, which is Friends Forever by Ann Stokes. This is a retired Haid. But to do that, I have to do 5 pages and a partial page this year. And I've already done 3. So I still have 2 pages and a partial. Comes out to about 15,000 stitches. I'm going to round it up to 16,000 because of the way that I go into the next pages on the page borders. So instead of focusing on it for 2 months and shooting for a page out of those 2 months out of the last 4 of the year, I'm just going to go 4,010 stitches per month for the last 4 months. That way I can still work on something else for the month, and not just be burning out and trying to work on this. I can just work on it a little bit each month. So last night, after I finished my Old Flannel Shirt stitches, I gridded this next page, and there's a ton of parked threads in this page. So this will be more the robe and the dragon's tail coming down. So I gridded the page, and then when I work in part threads, I start at the bottom of the page and work my way up, because it's easy for me to just, pull these up, and that way I have full access to the piece. Rather than, I have tried before working in part threads from the top down. Well, then the rest of these strands are in the way as you're working your way down the page. So I prefer to work in my part threads from the bottom up, and I'll just pull them out of the way. And because this piece, they tend to, come down anyways, so it's not like I'm trying to work up into these threads. So last night and this morning, I've already put in almost 400 stitches just working in the colors from the dragon's tail. So I'll continue to work on this. Hopefully I can get to the 4,000 stitches within a week and then work on something else. So I'll be doing, for the rest of this year, this page right here, and then since I'm doing pages diagonally, we'll get down to this page for her foot and the partial page underneath it. So I'm thinking this page and the partial will be easier because they're much darker colors. But this one with the detail in this robe and the dragon's tail will take me a little bit. But we'll see. So we'll aim for 4,000 stitches into that one this month. After that, what do I plan on working on? I'd like to at least get one page into all of my whips. Since I can't meet all of my goals, all of my full coverage page finish goals for the year, I'd like to at least get one page into my whips. I only had one goal, or one page goal for Confabulation of Dragons, so this one is done. All of my newer ones that I've started the last 2 years, my goal is only one page. So my options are pieces that I haven't worked on, and I'm just going to show you my pattern keeper because you might be able to see it from there. So Story Keep What Lies Within, I only, I did all the black on that one first. Let me just do this. Go into it, and then I'm going to zoom way out. Deselect the color. So What Lies Within, that's what it's looking like right now. So all the black is done. But when it comes to that first page, the first page is about halfway done. So that's an option to work on that and finish that page. Super Size Max Colors Animal Totem by Ciro Marchetti. This piece. I only have one page done, and that's the page over here with the horse. So I need to do a whole page on that one. And then the other piece that I have not worked on this year, well, let me get into it the right way. This is the mock-up. U.S. Travel Shelf by Amy Stewart. And I only have the very top page over here for Atlanta. So it was like 6,010 stitches. So I need to do another page on this one, and I started in that top corner. So I'm not sure which of those three I'm going to work on once I finish my 4,000 stitches on Friends Forever, but it's going to be one of those. Yeah, because I'm saving Trick or Treat for October. I want to do another page on Trick or Treat in October. And then there's always Museum Shelf. Another page on Sunday Delight because that's my 2025 finish. Aiming for. So we'll see. It'll be a surprise for you and for me. Let's see. Any other... No stitch days for August. I told you it was a really good month. I only had one day that I didn't stitch. In comparison, in July, I had 7 days. I did not stitch. In June, I had 13. In May, I had 12. So we're doing better. It was a better month as far as not working as long hours. There were still some long days, but I'm at least trying to pick up my stitching every single day if I can. So that is it for the stitching. Spencer is lame. He can still walk. He can, he's still getting turned out and everything, but if you make him trot, he is visibly limping on his right front leg. I've been trying a few different things. They have not really helped thus far. So it's not arthritis. If it's an abscess in his hoof, then it's pretty deep, and I can't pull it out until the farrier gets here and can dig around and try to relieve any pressure if there's an abscess in his foot. So we'll keep working on trying to make him better. In the meantime, my oldest is not happy that she can't ride, because she normally rides him about 3-4 times a week. So he's getting to enjoy a little bit of a break. And then school started this past week for my girls. So 6th grade and 3rd grade, they both really enjoy their teachers. Of course, starting in the middle school, my oldest, she's like, the day goes by a lot faster when you're, only in each class for 50 minutes. I'm like, yeah. So she's got, 7 different teachers. She's starting in band, playing the flute, and really enjoying that so far. She really likes her accelerated math teacher. One of the classes is more of an electives class. So it teaches some values. It teaches STEM, technology, careers, because they start, they want these 6th graders to start taking like career matching tests so they can figure out what things they're interested in now and start working towards that now rather than as a junior or senior in high school. And of course, science, social studies, English, all the core subjects. So there's also a skills class where they talk about mental health, nutrition, and they do, drug abuse, sex ed, a variety of different things in that class too. So it's going to be an interesting year. And then, of course, my youngest is in 3rd grade, and she's enjoying her class as well. I think she's going to try out for the chorus, or choir rather. She likes to sing, so she's going to try out to be in the choir. So we'll see how that goes. I hope everybody has a good stitching September, and I will see you, having looked at the calendar, probably first part of October then. All right, guys, have a good stitching month. See ya. Bye.